Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive breakdown of one of the most jaw-dropping moments in daytime television history. At the day Cher, the eternal goddess of pop and reinvention, was unceremoniously kicked off The View following a fiery live clash with none other than the sharp-tongued Joy Behar. Picture this, it's a crisp autumn morning in New York City, the kind where the leaves are turning gold and the energy in the ABC studios is buzzing with anticipation. The View, that iconic roundtable of unfiltered opinions and celebrity chit-chat, has built its empire on bold conversations that often teeter on the edge of chaos, but nothing could have prepared fans for what was about to unfold. Cher, at 79 years young, strides onto the set like a force of nature, her signature long black hair cascading over a glittering ensemble that screams timeless glamour. A think sequin jacket, bold eyeliner, and that voice that could shatter glass or soothe souls. She's there to promote her latest passion project, a memoir that's already climbing bestseller lists, spilling tea on everything from her wild 70s escapades with Sonny Bono to her unapologetic views on love, loss, and longevity in an industry that chews up icons and spits them out. The audience erupts in applause. Whoopi Goldberg kicks things off with her signature warmth, introducing Cher as the woman who taught us all how to believe in life after love, and for a fleeting moment, it feels like the perfect storm of star power and sisterhood. But as the cameras roll and the co-hosts settle in, you can sense the undercurrent of tension, like thunder rumbling just beyond the horizon. Joy Behar, the show's resident provocateur with her quick wit and zero filter, has a history of stirring the pot. Remember her infamous takedowns of politicians and pop stars alike? And today, her sights seem subtly set on probing deeper than Cher might be comfortable with, as the conversation flows from Cher's chart-topping hits like If I Could Turn Back Time to her activism for LGBTQ rights and environmental causes. The panel nods along, but Joy's eyes narrow ever so slightly, hinting at the verbal landmine she's about to detonate. Fans watching at home, sipping their morning coffee, had no idea they were about to witness a clash of titans that would dominate headlines, social media feeds, and water cooler chats for weeks to come. This wasn't just a talk show segment, it was a collision of two women who've spent decades commanding stages and screens, each with a lifetime of accolades, heartbreaks, and hard-won wisdom. Cher, the half-Cherokee trailblazer who rose from humble beginnings in California to become a global phenomenon, has always worn her vulnerabilities like armor, turning personal pain into powerhouse anthems. Joy, the former English teacher turned comedy queen, has made a career out of calling out hypocrisy with a Brooklyn bite that's as endearing as it is exhausting. And now, in this pressure cooker of a studio, those worlds were about to implode in spectacular fashion, as Whoopi tosses the first softball question about Cher's enduring beauty secrets. Say girl, how do you look like you just stepped out of a time machine set to 1989? Cher laughs that husky, infectious laugh, crediting kale smoothies, dance cardio, and a healthy dose of spite for anyone who ever said I couldn't. The crowd eats it up, but Joy leans forward, microphone in hand, her trademark smirk playing on her lips. Spite, huh? That's rich coming from someone who's reinvented herself more times than I change my lipstick. But let's get real. Cher isn't all that changing, just running from who you really are. The studio falls into a hush, the kind that sucks the air out of the room, and in that split second, you can see the shift in Cher's posture, from relaxed raconteur to coiled viper ready to strike. What starts as a seemingly innocuous jab spirals into a verbal showdown that exposes raw nerves, generational divides, and the brutal underbelly of fame. Viewers across the nation freeze mid-bite of their bagels, phones already lighting up with frantic texts. Did Joy just go there? This is the story of that fateful hour, dissected beat by beat, because when legends collide, the fallout reshapes the entertainment landscape forever. We'll dive into the build-up, the blow-up, the backlash, and the bigger picture of what it means for women in the spotlight who refuse to fade quietly. Buckle up, because this tale of triumph, tantrums, and take no prisoners truth-telling is just getting started. And trust me, you won't believe how it all went down, from the glittering highs of Cher's career at those Oscars, Grammys, and that unforgettable Vegas residency to Joy's decades of dishing dirt on The View. earning her a loyal legion of fans who adore her for never pulling punches. But today, those punches landed too close to home, igniting a firestorm that had producers scrambling, publicists panicking, and social media exploding with memes, hot takes, and hashtags like #Cher vs Joy and #View Meltdown. As the segment progresses, Sunny Hostin chimes in with a diplomatic pivot, praising Cher's resilience after her divorces and health scares. But the damage is done as the air is thick with unspoken challenges, and Cher's responses grow terser, her iconic drawl laced with an edge sharper than a stiletto heel. Little do they know, this is merely the appetizer to the main course of confrontation that's about to serve up heaping portions of drama. And as we unpack this, remember, in the world of talk TV, where authenticity is currency and controversy is king, moments like these aren't just entertaining, they're electric, etching themselves into the cultural zeitgeist like a tattoo you can't scrub off. So, let's rewind the tape, relive the raw, and revel in the rawness of it all. Because Cher getting kicked off The View wasn't the end of her story, it was the spark that reignited her fierce, unyielding spirit. As the applause for Cher's entrance fades into the familiar hum of The View's live audience, the conversation meanders through safe waters. Anecdotes from her Broadway run in the Cher Show, where she belted out "I Got You Babe" to standing ovations, and her surprise collabs with younger stars like Ariana Grande, proving that age is just a number when you've got pipes like hers. Whoopi, ever the maestro, steers the ship with questions about Cher's philanthropy, her tireless work with Children's Craniofacial Association and animal rights, earning nods from Sarah Haynes and Alyssa Fair Griffin, who gush over her as a feminist icon. But Joy, perched at the end of the table like a hawk eyeing its prey, has been uncharacteristically quiet, her fingers drumming on the table in a rhythm that betrays her impatience. Then, it happens at the pivot that turns playful banter into a battlefield. Joy, with her comedian's timing, drops the bomb. "Cher, you've had more husbands than I've had facelifts, and honey, that's saying something." But seriously, all those marriages, the breakups splashed across tabloids. Isn't it time to stop the carousel and just own being single? Or is the drama just good for the brand? The studio gasps collectively, a ripple of shock that even the producers in the booth can feel through their headsets. Cher's eyes, those piercing dark pools that have stared down critics for 6 decades, widen for a fraction of a second before narrowing into slits of steel. She sets down her water glass with deliberate slowness, the clink echoing like a gavel. "Joy, darling," she begins, her voice low and laced with that El Centro drawl, "I've had my share of bad decisions, sure, who hasn't? But unlike some, I don't hide behind jokes to avoid the mirror. My carousel, as you call it, taught me more about love and loss than any armchair expert ever could. And for the record, my brand is built on authenticity, not snark." The audience erupts, a half cheers, half uncomfortable laughter as Sunny tries to intervene with "Ladies, let's keep it loving." But the fuse is lit. Joy, never one to back down, fires back. "Authenticity? Please. You've changed your name, your nose, your politics, from Reagan Republican to Biden booster. Which Cher are we talking to today? The one who sang Half-Breed or the one tweeting about climate change from her private jet? Oath, that's the gut punch, dredging up Cher's controversial early hits and her jet-setting lifestyle amid eco-activism, a hypocrisy angle that's dogged her for years. The panel freezes. Whoopi mutters "Whoa, Joy," while Alyssa shifts uncomfortably, knowing Joy's barbs often hit too close to conservative guests. But Cher, she's not phased, she's furious. Leaning into the mic, she unleashes, "Half-Breed was my story, Joy, at the pain of being mixed-race in a world that wants you boxed in. And my jet, it gets me to the front lines, not just photo ops. You sit here judging from a soundstage, but I've been out there fighting since you were teaching high school English. Don't lecture me on change, embrace it or get left behind." The crowd roars, phones out recording every syllable, as the exchange escalates from personal to pointed, exposing the chasm between Cher's lived-in legend status and Joy's pundit provocateur role. Backstage whispers fly. Is this scripted shock value or genuine grudge? Insiders later spill that Joy had prepped zingers after reading Cher's memoir, irked by passages shading Mean Girl talk show hosts, A not-so-subtle dig at the View's history of guest dust-ups. Fans at home flood Twitter, or X, whatever we're calling it now, with reactions. #Team Cher trending worldwide. Memes of Joy as the Wicked Witch cackling at Dorothy. But the heat keeps building. Cher accuses Joy of ageist shade, flipping the script on Joy's own battles with retirement rumors, while Joy retorts that Cher's diva demands like insisting on no fluorescent lights make her high maintenance. Producers signal commercial breaks frantically, but the hosts power through, the segment devolving into overlapping shouts that drown out the audience's stunned silence. This is peak The View, messy, mesmerizing, and merciless. By the time they cut to ads, the internet is ablaze, clips going viral faster than a TikTok dance challenge. Cher's team is already drafting statements, Joy's chuckling off mic about giving the people what they want, and the other co-hosts are left playing referee in a ring with no ropes. As we hit pause here, know this, the first half was just foreplay. The real eruption is coming, where words turn to walking out, and a legend leaves on her terms or not. This clash isn't about two women, it's a microcosm of Hollywood's generational grudge match, where boomers like Cher paved the way and millennials turned moderators like Joy gatekeep the narrative. Stay tuned, because when the break ends, the gloves are off, and the fallout, it's fabulous, fierce, and utterly unforgettable. Coming back from commercial, the studio lights feel hotter, the audience more electric, as if the entire room is holding its breath for round 2 of this unforeseen heavyweight bout. Whoopi, bless her, attempts a reset with a lighthearted segue to Cher's upcoming tour dates, flashing smiles and plugging tickets, but the vibe is irreparably cracked, like a mirror that's spiderwebbed but not yet shattered. Cher sips her water, composing herself with the poise of someone who's faced worse than a panel of opinionated peers. Think the backlash to her 1998 autobiography or the sunny split that nearly broke her. Joy, meanwhile, sips her coffee with a smugness that only fuels the fire, her eyes twinkling with the thrill of the hunt. The turning point hits when Alyssa, trying to bridge the gap, asks Cher about resilience in the face of criticism. You've been called everything from overrated to overexposed. How do you keep going? Cher, warming to the topic, launches into a passionate monologue about self-love, quoting her own lyrics. I was born a lonely singer, and I became the moon to light your way. It's poetic, powerful, drawing misty eyes from Sarah and applause from the back rows. But Joy can't resist the interruption. Moonlighting? More like spotlight hogging. Cher, you've had more comebacks than comebacks have had you. But let's talk real talk. Your politics flip-flopped so hard during Trump. Fans called you a sellout, from I voted for him in '80 to build a wall, build a bridge to reality. Which side are you really on, or is it just whatever sells records? The accusation hangs heavy, referencing Cher's public evolution from conservative leanings to vocal Democratic support, a shift she's owned in interviews but one that stings in this public forum. The audience murmurs, divided some boo Joy's edge. Others nod at the call-out on celebrity activism's sincerity. Cher's face flushes under the makeup, her hands gripping the table edge as she rises slightly in her seat. Sellout, Joy, I've evolved because the world did. I saw the hate, the inequality, and I spoke up. You're still peddling the same tired takes, recycling outrage for ratings. At least my flips come from heart, not hot air. Boom. The retort lands like a mic drop, and the panel erupts. Sunny defends Cher's growth as brave, Alyssa calls for civility, but Joy doubles down, laughing it off as just asking questions, echoing her post-2016 election spats that nearly got her suspended. What ensues is a torrent of back and forth, voices overlapping in a cacophony that has the control room sweating bullets. Cher brings up Joy's own contradictions and her support for certain policies that clashed with her feminist brand, while Joy counters with Cher's reality TV stunt on The Masked Singer, dismissing it as desperate for relevance. The barbs fly faster, Cher on Joy's co-host carousel as proof of instability, Joy on Cher's plastic fantastic look as denial of aging. Fans later dissect every zinger on Reddit threads and YouTube reaction videos, with titles like Cher OWN's Joy, a epic burn compilation. But beneath the spectacle, there's a poignant undercurrent. Two women over 70, battling perceptions of irrelevance in a youth-obsessed industry. Their clash a cry for respect amid the ridicule. As the segment clock ticks down, producers whisper in Whoopi's ear, "Wrap it up," but Cher, sensing the toxicity, stands abruptly, microphone still clipped to her lapel. "You know what? I'm done with this circus. I've got real work to do. Not this mean girl ambush," gasps Echo as she heads for the exit, Joy calling after her, "Running away again?" Classic Cher. The audience is stunned into silence, cameras capturing the walkout in all its dramatic glory. Cher's heels clicking defiantly, head high, flipping the bird subtly off camera, or so the rumors say. Cut to black on a frozen frame of chaos. Co-hosts agape, and that's when the real storm breaks. Social media ignites. 500,000 tweets in the first hour, celebrities like Madonna tweeting support for Cher, Sisters over Shade, while Joan Rivers' estate chimes in with a posthumous zinger via socials. ABC execs huddle in crisis mode, debating edits for reruns, but it's too late as the clip is everywhere, from TMZ to TikTok, spawning parodies and podcasts. This walkout isn't just a tantrum, it's a statement, echoing Cher's lifelong rebellion against the machine that made her. As we pivot to the immediate aftermath, picture the green room emptying faster than a sinking ship, Cher's entourage shielding her from paparazzi swarming the back exit, while inside, Joy shrugs to producers, "She'll thank me later, tough love." Oh, the irony. This moment cements the View's rep as controversy central, but at what cost to its queen bee? Stay with me, because the backlash wave crashes next, drowning detractors and elevating underdogs in ways no one saw coming. The screen fades from that iconic walkout shot, Cher's silhouette vanishing through the studio doors like a ghost from a bygone era, and immediately, the digital world detonates into a supernova of opinions, shares, and schadenfreude. Within minutes, #Cher kicked off trends globally, surpassing even the latest political scandal, with over 2 million mentions by lunch fans, those die-hard devotees who've tattooed her face and blasted strong enough at breakups for decades, flood the feeds with solidarity, montages of her greatest hits intercut with Joy's past gaffes, captions screaming "Protect Cher at all costs." Celebrities pile on. A Barbra Streisand posts a cryptic "Some voices are too loud for small stages," while Elton John quips, "Joy, stick to bingo nights, leave the divas to us." Even political figures weigh in, without retweeting a clip and adding, "When women challenge each other like this, it's not entertainment, it's exhaustion." Solidarity. On the flip side, Joy's loyalists add the Hot Topics diehards who tune in for her unfiltered fire, defend her as the truth teller, calling out Hollywood hypocrisy. Forums like Reddit's The View explode with threads, "Joy was right, Cher's a chameleon." Versus, "This is why we can't have nice things. Ageism disguised as wit." Memes proliferate, Cher as the Terminator saying "I'll be back," Joy photoshopped as Thanos snapping away guests. By afternoon, ABC's switchboards melt under calls, half demanding Joy's apology, half praising the realness. Ratings spike 40%, proving controversy is catnip for daytime demos, but behind the scenes, it's pandemonium. Cher, holed up in her Manhattan suite overlooking Central Park, vents to her manager via FaceTime, her voice cracking between laughs. That woman wouldn't know authenticity if it belted gypsies, tramps, thieves in her face. Her publicist spins gold from grit, leaking stories of pre-show tension. Joy allegedly mocking Cher's rider, "No Dairy, Essential Oils diffuser," to staff, fueling narratives of premeditated shade. Meanwhile, The View's team circles wagons. Whoopi issues a bland statement on Instagram, "We love all our guests, even when it gets heated, that's family," while Sunny and Sarah post throwback pics with Cher from happier segments. Joy, she goes radio silent at first, then drops a bomb on her evening radio slot. "Look, Cher's a legend. But legends get comfy in their myths.